And Charlie Rose is here with us to talk about this. Yeah, no, Charlie, that was a great interview. I'm so jealous because I'm like the biggest Star Wars fan. I got to ask you, because, you know, these interviews get cut down. What's the one thing that George told you that didn't make it into that piece that you could share with our audience?
Well, he talked a lot about, I tell you the one thing, is that Star Wars was for children.
Huh, that's interesting.
That was in his mind.
In his mind,
yeah.
it was for children. Really?
Yeah.
That's right.
And that it was about philosophy, it was about family, it was about all those things that he simply translated to the Star Wars characters.
In a way that's sort of not surprising, Vlad just showed us a picture
when he
of
was
himself.
10?
Yeah,
I heard about this. Waiting in line.
I was with like my little yellow Star Wars teacher in 1977.
My question for you is, which is your favorite?
Oh, it's like asking about your kids, which I don't have any. I would say probably The Empire Strikes Back, the second in the first trilogy, because it was a little darker, and you really got a lot of insights into Darth Vader and into the Alliance and to who Luke Skywalker was in his training as a Jedi. I don't want to get all geeky.
But I think aren't George's more dark? I mean, than some that have succeeded him.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I'm told JJ, I don't know if this would be true, but I'm told that JJ likes number 4.
Number 4, which is the first one in the entire in the canon, right? That's excellent. Yeah, which is the one everybody grew up on, right? He was
I'm literally like this. It's like a tennis match. They're all good to me. This is what I wanted to ask you, though. Watching your piece, he seemed disarmingly unemotional about letting go.
I think it was emotional for him. I think he laid out his reasons at the time. It was because he was opening his museum. He had a lot of other things he wanted to do. Yeah. This was a good time in his judgment to sell Lucasfilms for a very good price. At the same time, this was something he created, you know. But he says, I've already done that. But it's got to be, it just has to be a time of sort of feeling mixed emotions because of how huge it is, and he's the guy that created it.
Well, you know? I think about him talking about fatherhood. You know, he brought it up a few times, and you talk about Star Wars, and you go, "Oh, but that's your baby." And I thought, oh, he's sort of saying that he's given up one baby for some other babies, sort of, you know.
He very much feels strongly about fatherhood. Yeah. I mean, he's a guy who essentially stopped working, stopped making movies to raise kids, and he adopted kids. I mean, he did all the things that was important to him, and he's got this wonderful new baby who's now 2.
Describe the relationship with Melody Hobson, who is a CBS News contributor. What are they like together?
Loving, amused by each other. There was a very interesting thing. You couldn't hardly hear it in the piece. They were walking on the porch with me. This is at Skywalker Ranch. It's not actually where they live, but that's sort of the headquarters. They live. You know,
that's like our Mecca.
A little bit more, a little bit further away from that. But as they were walking, and George said, we seem like we're very different. And they do. But he said, when you peel it all away, we're very similar. So I think that's it. I think they're similar in values, they're similar in the kinds of people they like. And I mean, it's a wonderful relationship that came together late. They actually met at a conference that I was presiding over.
No way.
Yeah. And then from that, they sat down and they were very frank with each other from the beginning about what they hoped to see in a relationship. Nothing was not part of the conversation.
To go back to the whole Star Wars thing, you know, I am standing beside a prototype geek.
Yeah, right.
And I'm wondering, is there anything about him that's a little geeky about Star Wars?
I tell you what, I think what he is first of all, he's a storyteller. Yeah. And so his imagination is crazy. I mean, he thinks about all this. He's well-read. And when he puts this family story and the story for kids and all that he's building on, you know, if ever he ran into a problem in terms of how he wanted to see his vision on screen, he would create some new way to show that. And that's how all the technology stuff got built. I mean, he had a problem, he wanted to fix it, and there was no way to fix it at the time, so he went and put together people who knew something about technology. He then learned it himself, and all of a sudden he had a company.
You know, it's interesting, Charlie. He has influenced so many filmmakers. We were just talking about
Steven Spielberg
Graffiti.
said that at the...
Right, and everybody seems to take a little something from George Lucas, either in the way that they develop their characters or in the way that they apply, for example, music soundtracks like he did in American Graffiti. Right, there's so much that he's done. Does he ever look back and say to himself, you know, I've left behind a legacy in addition to being a good father, that I can be proud of.
Oh, sure. He
Generations
does.
of filmmakers
Of course
will be
he does.
influenced.
You know?
Yeah.
You can't hear everything that he hears from people like Steven Spielberg. And to know, if you travel with him, which I've had the great honor to do, we go to the Formula One races together and do other things with Melody, the three of us. And wherever he goes, there is somebody waiting outside the hotel to see him if there is known that George Lucas is there. Star Wars is so powerful in the imagination of a global population that if Lucas is around, they want to see him and have him sign something.
And I think it's not just for geeks. I think everyone is into it.
Because in the end, he's a storyteller.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
And the journey of that hero, Luke Skywalker or Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, is a journey that has been told for thousands of years.
See, that's
going back to the
universal.
Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Charlie Rose, thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure to see you.
Thanks, Charlie.
When are you going to see it?
I have my tickets Friday at 10 p.m. I bought it online last week.
Yeah.
Reserved seating.
All right,
Can't
good
wait.
for you.
I'll wait for the crowds to go down.
I won't spoil it for you, Emery.
Great to see you.
Thanks, Charlie.